thought I will take some update on Vata Vyadhi in respect to neuropsychiatry with special emphasis on Ayurvedic management of spinal disorders. This was my topic. Anyway, I'm not going to deal with much of the diseases, but in what way we need to look to the Vata Vyadhi. It is very, very interesting and very confusing also. So far, there's no much clarity on this one. It's a very important topic for the Ayurveda. And again, very, very controversial topic is there. So I want to give a new dimension to it. What Vata Vyadhi we need to think of. That what in the first part I'll take. And second one is as the common practitioner, in what way we can handle them, spinal disorders. I'm not going to complicate conditions, very, very simplified approach I'll give as a common practitioner point of view. That was my talk today. As I told, when we joined the BAMS in 1983, Srikanth Babu is my classmate. We joined together in the 1983 in Tirupati Ayurveda College as a BAMS graduates. Since then, we had a lot of discussions. For example, of Vata Vyadhi. The moment we read Vata with a teacher's attribute to the nervous system, then we try to correlate every word of Vata to every word of nervous system. That's what we think is going on. Later on, somebody use neurotransmitters, maybe as some other chemical agents, etc., being going on attributed that one. That was the history going on happening. And then when a little bit a brief minimum functions, when you see few of the functions, Sandhanagraha Sharirasya, that is internal communication system, I can say on this one. Sandhanagraha Sharirasya, we have several body parts are there, which has been linked by the system that's called Vata is linking that one. We said is internal communication system. And then some other context Charaka says, Tesham Samyoga Vibhage Paramanu Nam Karanam Vayu Karma Swabhascha. And then Sarva Sharira Dhatu Vyuha Karaha Karta Garbhakruti Nam. When you see all these ones, first one is the cell division and then cell union formation of tissue. The cells will divide and form into tissue. That one. Sarva Sharira Dhatu Vyuha Karaha. How a body component should be there, how much they have to grow, when they have to stop, when the repair has to happen, how much they have to again repair, how to stop the repair. This all comes under Sarva Sharira Dhatu Vyuha Karaha, the planning. Then Karta Garbhakruti Nam, again in the Garbha, the fetal development. So we have a lot of good control over the fetal development. So some organ starts and again after some time they stop the growing and another one takes up from that one. Likewise, we have well articulated, well structured, well programmed growth is there. So I can say that Vata is chief architect of the body. All these functions are attributed to the Vata. So chief architect of the body, it is a designer or architect. It is controlling every structure of the body. And similarly, AYUSH Anuvrittihi, even the declare of the death also, expression of maintenance of life, again by Vata only. So these all things will attribute how much dimensions are there in Vata. And they say then, Vayu Tantra Yantra Daraha. There is the Vata functions, Tantra Yantra Daraha. On the basis of that one, we can say communication and governance. Governance again through communication. So Vata is performing communication and governance. A communication we have neural and chemical communication, and whereas governance we have genetic and feedback controls. Governance, genetic control and feedback also, maybe hormone regulation, etc. So these are the distinctive functions Vata perform, the communication and governance. So we can call as Vata as the software of the body. The entire functions are being governed or regulated or these ones. So neural communication, chemical communication, and then feedback mechanism, genetic control, switching of the genes, switching on the genes, etc. So we can say that one Vata is the software of the body, entire body. That means communication. When you see the word communication, how it is important in the present scenario. The ability of cells to perceive and correctly respond to their environment is the basis of development, tissue repair, immunity, as well as normal tissue homeostasis. When you see this one, that means the communication is most important to respond to the microenvironment. What are the external stimuli coming, some messages coming, how to respond for it. It may be of tissue repair, how much tissue repair. For example, we have cut a body part and the healing process takes place. And if it is for example, palm, you get the same tissue happens here. Yeah, some other area, same tissue happens and same level comes, then it's going to stop there. Likewise, who is going to control this one? There is some communication system, the feedback system, genetic control over it, tissue. Some system is telling you now divide. Some system telling now we stop it, we have got enough growth. So there is genetic control over it. Similarly, immunity as well as normal tissue homeostasis. Likewise, these all things comes under communication. The errors in the cellular information processing are responsible for disease such as cancer, autoimmune, etc. So here the processing of the information, if it is wrong, then that may lead into the even the cancer. Cancer is again loss of genetic control, uncontrolled proliferation of the cells going and happening there, uncontrolled. Autoimmunity, it is harming our own body. It should not harm it. That is again a wrong processing of the signals, because the signaling, wrong processing of signals. So likewise, this signal system is very important to understand Vata functions of the body. When you understand the signal system, you can easily understand the Vata functions there. Similarly, healthy cells exchange signals to regulate the immune system, help muscles and organs function, and perform an endless list of biological tasks. Their signals, these signals also dictate how cells grow, divide, and when they have shut down themselves and down to make room for newer cells or healthy cells. So when you see these ones, is again a communication. We have different organs, different muscles, different systems are there. Immune system also there. Who is telling the innate immunity and other human immunity to go somewhere, attack somewhere, do somewhere all. This again signals. Chemical signals are there. So this one, they also perform endless biological tasks are there. Innumerable number of tasks are being performed by signal mechanisms. These signals also dictate the cells, how to divide, when to divide, when to shut down. Now it is the time to close down your function, you die. So the declaration of death also controls by some signal systems are there. Likewise, almost this way, signal system is very important in the function, and this signal system we need to take under Vata, where we can able to explain all the functions of Vata very clearly. Even the diabetes, now we see insulin receptor substrate molecules are key mediators in the insulin signaling. Insulin is there, and then these receptors, and receptors are active, they function, then only insulin can exert its functions, otherwise insulin cannot do it. And defects in the muscles IRS1 expression and function have been reported in insulin resistant states such as obesity and type 2 diabetes. Type 2 also, there is resistance, that means Avarna concept. I will take that one in the next slides. In the case of Avarna, concept can be taken. Those receptors are blocked there, they are not responding for it, then become type 2 diabetes mellitus, etc. There is another concept is there called ligands. They are the substances, by tagging them, then it becomes a signal. Otherwise, the proteins are inactive, they are not active. So when we read our Pittam Pangu, Kafam Pangu, Pangu Maladhatavaha, how to understand that one? So now here we have a very good explanation that one. These ligands are there, by tag that one, then the proteins become signals. They can communication, they can go in here, they can do some actions there. Otherwise, they will not work as a signaling mechanism. They are lame, just like as Ayurveda told. These proteins are there. Likewise, these ligands, why Vata has been told to that they activate these ones. This is where we get the answer for it. And here Dhatu Kshaya. Do we say about one Dhatu Kshaya? Now we can see here there is the insulation has been damaged here, insulation. So protective wrapping around nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord are destroyed. Then these affected nerve cells can no longer transmit the signals there. When the insulation is not there, the nerve signals cannot be transmitted there. So we can understand a sort of Dhatu Kshaya in some other functions where it happens there. Yeah, multiple sclerosis, it is the example of multiple sclerosis, what happens in that one. Now why we can have Nasya in that one, Shiro Basti in that one, again Basti also. Likewise, we have different models of treatments are there where to combat all these ones. But to understand the pathological process, we can see Dhatu Kshaya how it happens. Similarly here, Dhatu Kshaya and Avarna, in case of diabetes. So here you see here, there is no insulin here. Insulin is not here. So where is called Dhatu Kshaya type of the manifestation. And here insulin is there, but is not active. It's called Avarna here. Avarna type of manifestation, where we can explain very well the receptor mechanism, signaling mechanism. Here, there no Dhatu Kshaya, no preparation here. Here the dhatus are there, but it won't, action is not there because there is a Avarna there. So we can understand easily this diabetes manifestation also. Dhatu Kshaya and Avarna both. And then Anyonya Avarna. In such conditions of Anyonya Avarna, here the thyroid hormone regulations, we can say TSH, T3, T4. So sometimes TSH will be normal, T3, T4 elevated, or T3, T4 is normal, T is elevated. Likewise, we can find different type of manifestations. Here we can say one is the avaranas, pranavata, apanavata. Like we are not attributing exactly which whatever type of vata, but I can give the examples I'm giving how we can need to understand even avarana vata cells here. Reproductive hormone regulation, for example, a GnRH, FSLH. The GnRH will stimulate, and as per the requirement, either FSH or LH will secreted there. The organ will respond for one stimulus, but it will respond differently for same stimulus as per the requirement. Again, after that one, either testosterone or spermatogenesis or estrogen, ovulation. Likewise, there are many functions are there attributed there. So here we can see sometimes FSH, LH is normal, but testosterone is low here. Testosterone is high, FSH is low here. Likewise, we have a lot of variations are there. This we can consider under types of the signaling mechanisms where their deficiency or blockage is there, where we can have anyonya awareness examples can be taken up. That will give a lot of clarity for us to how to approach also. Altogether, we can say Vata Vyadhis. Now we can see with all these ones, we can say the Vata Vyadhis is not only neurological or musculoskeletal. We should restrict it. We have to understand many conditions. Now, for example, cerebrovascular conditions, neurological conditions, musculoskeletal conditions also there, endocrine conditions, genetic conditions, congenital, immunological, metabolic, pigmentary, nutritional, psychiatric. Likewise, we have a big list of these ones are there. When you see Vata Vyadhi, Nanatmaji Vyadhis, Vata Vyadhis, we see big list of these ones. For example, even the Kubjatva also there, congenital, all these disorders, endocrine disorders are there. Even the metabolic, pigmentary, Karsha, this also there now. Nutritional, again, the Karshata also there. Psychiatric conditions also there. Likewise, a very big range of conditions coming under Vata Vyadhi. It to consider most all of them up to genetic control, starting from genetic control up to the maybe metabolic conditions, psychological conditions. We have wide range of conditions coming under Vata Vyadhi. Likewise, we need to understand. And overall, my suggestion is now we have to think about the signaling mechanisms into our science. Then we can understand the Doshi concept very well. That's what my want to message to give it. And then coming to my today's other topic, spinal disorders and Ayurveda. Here also I'm going to give you very common conditions. I'm not touching the tumors, etc., and then accidents, etc. I'm not touching that one. In general, common conditions where people can practice that way. So, what are the structures involved when coming from the point of view Ayurveda? When you consider spinal disorders, when you think of Mamsa, Kandara, and then Snayu, Asti, Majja, Sira, Dhamani, Nadi. These are that means nerves. These are structures involved in the spine or the spinal disorders. Now, Mamsa, Kanda, Snayu. The ligaments and the musculature is there, the surrounding musculature. Then Asti, Majja, and both you got the process the body and over the disc also, and then Sira, Dhamanis, and then nerves. These are the structures involved in that one. So any conditions, maybe one of the structures involved, and then we need to concentrate on how to overcome the issues there. In that condition, what are the common clinical features coming all together? One is the pain, then the spasms are there. Sometimes we can see the deviation also, the spine deviation, we can see kyphosis, scoliosis, etc. We can see stiffness of the part, and the inflammation, and then loss of range of movements, joint stability will lose, deformities may happen, and then reduced function. The functions will be reduced. What are the functions supposed to perform that cannot be able to perform to the full extent? These are the clinical picture we can see in general, almost all spinal disorders. It may be of cervical spine, thoracic or lumbar spine. What the spine is there in general? All these are there. I'm summarizing all those ones. The common causes, as I was told, Ati Vyayama or Avyayama. There are people who do overexertion, and there are people who are sedentary life. For example, you can see the small boy carrying a huge the bag of books now. You can imagine now, and sometimes there are schools or colleges are there, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 5th floors are there. They have to climb every day. If you imagine morning once, after coming back, again after going back, again, the 4 times they are climbing up, climbing down the steps also. The 4 floors or 5 floors and having heavy weight carrying. You can imagine what the art is. The joints or the spines condition also, and they're always carrying the bag, So the strain part we can imagine them. Avyayam again, there are sedentary lifestyles also there. And these computer operators, etc. They sit and going on doing that one. And they never understand the correct posture, the correct adjustment of the height, etc. Sometimes the bed, they lie down the bed and going on doing that one. And so wherever they are there, they'll be going on operating the laptops and the mobiles and doing messages and doing the work, office work there. So that is again the Ati Vyayama or Vishamasana. So Vishama Vyayama, Vishamasana. So irregular postures they're going and taking. So a sort of muscle spasm happening, and one side we are going to stress we are being given there. Likewise, these are the many of the conditions. Then overweight and Medo Vruddhi. Astikshaya, we have Ayurveda very clearly mentioned. In case of the Medo Vruddhi, Astikshaya happens there. So overweight also one of the causes. Then Prakriti, when it comes to Prakriti, we can see Pitta Prakriti with the Drava predominance. If we go to the Prakriti with the Guna level, we understand well the people who are Pitta predominant and having Pitta Prakriti, having Drava Guna predominance, they are likely to more prone for osteopenia or osteoporosis problem there. You can, if you start looking into that one, you can appreciate the Prakriti part in the concern to osteopenia, osteoporosis. Then menopause or hysterectomy undergone. They also have estrogen deficiency and again calcium deficiency and malnutrition, one of the cause. These are the broadly common causes which will resulting in spinal disorders, which will be commonly coming out. That means the different postures are there, and lack of exercise or over-exercise, overweight, and then Prakriti are concerned. What are the pathological manifestations are there here? One is degeneration, the disc, other thing degeneration happens there, or muscle spasms, muscles undergoing spasms when there is a improperly, as the Vishamasana is there, weight bearing is not proper, or driving, sometimes two-wheeler driving, they'll be sitting in different poses. There are people who sit to one side only and bend to other side, so they go constantly going on doing. And they are traveling in such irregular roads in the two-wheelers, the jerks are there, there's a constant compressions are there, muscle spasms come there, the inflammation. And then stenosis, the spinal column, the spinal cord, going to undergo stenosis, or some different particular parts are there. So these are the common pathological manifestations happening in the spinal conditions. What is our treatment aim? When we are planning treatment, we should aim of our treatment plan. What is our treatment aim? One is we need to have the pain management. There is a primary aim. We have to reduce the pain. Then inflammation, we have to reduce it. Muscle relaxation we have to provide. Then decompression we have to provide. That is when the nerves are being compressed, we have to go for decompression and bone regeneration, and then release of stenosis. These are our aims when we treatment aim for the treatment there. Accordingly, we can plan our drugs also, not simply going on giving any randomly drugs there. We can keep aim and work on that one. For example, a treatment objective given here, pain relief, strengthening the Mamsa Kandra Snayu, remineralization of bone, repair of articular surface, improving the gap between the bones, etc. And coming to what are the treatment modalities, Charaka, all together, all the Samhita together, what are the options are there? Sneha, Sweda and Seka. Sneha, Sweda, Sweka, Brudosho, Samshodana. Abhyanga, Upanaha, Udveshtana, Mardana, Parisheka, Avagaha, Samvahana, Pidana, Utsadana, Lepa, Pradeha. So likewise, multiple options are being given by Acharyas. Basti again, Snigdha and Ushnadravya's especially. Shukashilata, he be comfortable lifestyle or comfortable posture you have to be given. When the pain is there, you should not continue the same or continue action that one. We have to provide Shukashilata, then slowly pain come down, then we have to go for disease modifying. Anuvasana Basti with Gruta and Tailas. Then oil processed with Meda, Mamsa, the Deepana, Pachana, etc. Dravya is also there. Then Shatapaka, Sahasrapaka. This is well highlighted. Whenever there is a severe Dhatu Kshayam, Sahasrapaka, Shatapaka, especially Kshabala not one, all of you are experiencing that one. What is the benefit of the multiple pakas there? So these are the summarized multiple options. I'll be giving briefly summary of this then, as time is very short now. The pain management. As there is a pain management talk is separate talk is there. I'm not touching any area. These are the multiple options are there. Srikanth is going to highlight, and I leave that one to him. Coming disease modification, where we have, for example, these are some of the things: Katibasti, Grivabasti, Katibasti, Prishtabasti, etc., which give instant pain relief and also muscle relaxation also. And then many times we think of what type of thaila you have to use it. A lot of discussions are there. We have tried one study where we have given a Dashimula different forms. Dashimula, Thaila, Dashimula Kashaya, Dashimula Kshirapaka, and plain water. Almost everywhere pain relief we can find, but the prolonged relief we can find in the oil group only, where the temperature may be going to deeper, etc. And what my advice is, whenever we give 1 week of Katibasti, Krishnabasti, etc., then you recommend the patient to, or motivate the patient to go for periodically coming, once in month, once in fortnight, for maintenance. Otherwise, that will be very good. For you also, continues the patient comes there. For them also, they can go for maintenance of the problems there. This is a very ideal way of doing. Many of my OA patients are coming likewise, only monthly, one sitting they come. And Lepa also. We had this Chitrakamula. Chitrakamula Lepa is very good, excellent result. It gives wherever the pain, instant relief, you can get the pain. And then Veshchana, this also. So physiotherapy people has adopted this one. Ayurveda is given well described, but we have forgotten, we are not in practice. But physiotherapy people has brought tremendous changes in that one, because so many things they brought out which are very comfortable, which improves, reduce the vertical, the forces, it gives supports, really align the structures there, improve stability, and improve the gap also. So this is as and when required, we need to advise them so that we can get the faster results also. Exercise, Sukha Shilana, as I told, we have to be comfortably, we have to lessen the pain. We should not strain when pain is there, should not strain it. Likewise, we have to go for. And here, yoga, back, relax exercises, and gait correction. These are the important factors there to correct all these ones. So likewise, we are yoga and all these ones we can advise. And Shodhanam is a Mudra Shodhana in case of Dadukshejanya, Mudra Shodhana. And in case of Avaranajanya, we have to go for the Tiksha Shodhanas. And we should not depend only on BMI. My advice is BMI should not be considered as the avarana, etc., or overweight. BMI sometimes Medasara, Majjasara, Astisara, Shukrasara, Mamsasara. These people are likely to have more BMI because they are naturally having Sthira, Guru, Shubha Mamsopachita, the Mamsasara Purusas. They have. So they naturally have high BMI. For example, wrestlers are there. You can see that their BMI will be high only, but they are healthy. So we need to consider the dhatu compactness also in the body. So we had bring Sara concept into that one when we decide whether these really are overweight or the physiological overweight. And then Vamana followed with Virechana, we can have in the healthy individuals, and the stronger ones, we can go for together. Vamana followed with Virechana. We call as combo pack here, and continuously we perform the Vamana Virechana together. Is good. And the Nitya Virechana, those who are obeys, especially Tilna Dhatu is there more fluidity in the body. Then we go for Gomutra Kotaki, Gomutra Haritaki, Erana Pushta Haritaki, etc. can be given. And Basti, especially Tikta Dravyas, where they told us Asti Majjagata Vyadi. So Tikta Dravyas prepared in the Gruta or in the Kshira form, we have to give it, those things. And osteoporosis, osteopenia. Calcium is generally being given, but I never found effect with the calcium. I generally stop people, tell the people to stop the calcium supplements, is of no use. What Ayurveda says is, of course, these are things we generally use. Calcium, definitely we take enough calcium, but the problem comes with the remineralization. The problem of calcium uptake and remineralization to the bone. That is the main problem there. We say Asthiyagnik Shaya there. Asti is metabolism of Asti is not proper there. So what I will say is Asti Majjagata Vyadi, Tikta Dravya, Siddha, Grutan, Kshira, Ayurveda told. So this is the only treatment principle for us. When you give it, automatically calcium uptake will be enhanced there. You need not give calcium at all. For example, Nasya, the Kshirabala 101, Shatavri Gruta, we got very good result. In case of menopausal females, we got good result. Without giving calcium, the serum calcium has been elevated very highly by giving Nasya Karma there. So in case of menopausal, we can depend on that one. And then Tikta Dravya, either in the form of orally or in the form of Basti, we have to go for to remineralization, to work on the Asthiyagni. The take-home message from me, the set treatment objective and plan treatment. So this is the most important thing. I always tell treatment objective, what do you want? You want to relieve the pain or you want to modify the disease? Likewise, in case of Dadukshaya, they classify that one is Dadukshaya or Avaranajanya, then accordingly you plan your treatment. Not simply going on Eranamula Basti, this bus, don't going on planning that one. That way, calcium supplements of no use. I didn't find any use of that one. And then encourage for periodical maintenance, once in a month or once in a fortnight, coming for Katibasti, Janavasti, Grivabasti, etc. as per the condition there. And then so try to be cost effective. This is what my message at this time. I thank you all for